Hello, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Goretti and I am the counselor at Butterfly Project. And today I just wanted to talk to you guys about a topic that keeps coming up, in my sessions with clients as well as just other people, in my personal life. But this is about overcoming adversity. And now some of you know my personal story. I have been to hell and back a few times, in my life from a very young age, up until, recently. Okay. And so people always say, Goretti, like, how do you overcome this? How do you do it so well? There's a few things I want to talk about. Okay. So if you're new to my channel, thanks so much for being here. Please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here. This is, a channel where I try to, share as much as I possibly can from what I do, with working with my clients. Sorry guys, I'm having trouble talking today, but, so that I, can kind of give back to the community and help those that maybe can't really afford to do counseling at this time. I know that it is hard times. We're talking about overcoming adversity. Financial is one of them as well, right? So some people are kind of just born with this skill or talent or ability, or I call it a gift as well. Some people, are just born with it, having that tenacity, that perseverance, children that have that very stubborn, quality to them. And I just was, kind of made aware of this week as well with my little guy. I have a 3-year-old, as a lot of you know, and he is just, you could call it stubborn-headed, but what I finally realized is he just has that same inner fire and perseverance and, passion and drive that I do. And that is that skill, that quality, that personality trait that comes in natural to some people that help you really overcome adversity. For others, it's something that you can learn. Okay, a lot of it has to do with our instincts, with survival. That's part of it. Being really resourceful. Okay, I had to learn how to be resourceful. I used to be the biggest worrywart, right? And something else, I had cancer at 26. And that kind of started this journey for me, because prior to that, I was really, I would worry about everything, and I created kind of a mess in my life, in so many different ways. But what I have learned, positive mindset is a big one. Shifting your focus, right, from what you don't have, from the negative to something positive. That's one of the things that I learned. So I started learning things like meditation, spirituality, whatever that means for you. It's different for everybody. For some, it is religion. For others, it's not, right? For some, it's really just connecting to your inner self or your higher self, or connecting to, the divine or the universe, or, whatever it is for you. Everybody's different, right? So take this how it resonates. But, it is true that if you don't believe in something bigger than yourself, you're gonna feel alone. You're gonna feel a lot more difficulties. And one of the things I can say, the biggest number one factor, aside from my already natural ability to kind of overcome adversity, is, my faith, my spirituality, right? My faith and belief in something bigger than me. I'm always saying one of the lines that I have repeatedly said, in the past, I would say 5 years, because that's when I really got, kind of zoned into my spirituality, was 5 years ago. And it has expanded like hugely in the last 5 years, especially in the last 3 years. But what I would say is that, the line that I use all the time is, the universe always has my back. God is always taking care of me. Everything is being taken care of. The universe always has my back. I'm always being taken care of. I am protected, right? and I'm always being taken care of. And that has really helped me. Like my faith, I would say that is, aside from my personal ability, and that you can learn, right? Those are techniques that you can learn, but it is my faith. And so I'll do a separate video actually on the different techniques that we can kind of grow, and learn and develop, kind of like a muscle, right? If you want to build muscles, you have to work out, and it's something that, you need to practice and train yourself on. And we can do that. But, the number one thing that I would say, kind of just to help you guys right now, because I don't want to give you guys too much, is to make sure that you are, spending time with yourself, giving to yourself. What I learned was, and I know self-love is all over, everywhere. Everybody talks about it, but truly, it is not just the self-love activities, I call them. So that's like self-care and, getting your nails done, your hair, and, going out for coffee and things like that. That's great. And we need to do those things, right? We need to give to ourselves. But I am talking about really connecting to yourself. Do you know the most important relationship you have is with yourself? Not with anybody else, just you. Okay? And if you want to go further, you and your higher self, or you and the divine, you and, source energy, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? The light, the most high, right? Divinity. That is the most important connection you have. And so when we can do that, when we can align ourselves, when we can connect to that part of ourselves, the inner part, I always tell my clients, that spirit, the spirit you, when you can connect internally and give to yourself and spend time with you, that is filling your cup. That is loving yourself. Okay, and we can't really receive things in life without that, truly. Okay, and so giving to yourself, filling your own cup, self-love, working on, doing the shadow work. That's the other thing that I did, that really hugely helped me, especially with connecting, to, my spirit. But if you can spend that time, filling your cup, loving yourself, meditating, going within, right? That will help you to overcome things. It builds that internal muscle, the internal strength. You start to really have trust in yourself. And I don't mean in your own like human ability, really. I mean, that's part of it. But you just have this like trust within that you just know everything's going to work out. And a lot of that is your connection to your spirit, your connection to your faith, your connection to, whatever it is that you believe that's bigger than you. And then you don't feel so alone. And when you start doing the shadow work and you start really kind of clearing out, healing old past wounds, healing pains, from your past, when you start kind of getting back to self-worth, self-love, honoring yourself, respecting yourself, it's kind of like clearing out the cobwebs within you, and then you can see clearly. And the more you see clearly, the more you can connect to your spirit, your higher self, to source energy, God, the universe, right? The divine. The more that you can do that, then you start to have trust and faith in this, your higher self or higher power, whatever it is for you. And you start having this trust and faith, and you start building that muscle. It's a practice that you do every day. There's different techniques, there's rituals, there's prayer, there's meditation, there's so many different things. Everybody's different. You use what works for you. But whatever it is connects you to this part of you. And every day, it's kind of like working out every day. You start building that muscle and building that muscle and building that muscle. And this is what creates that tenacity, that perseverance, right? That ability, that strength within you, that like lion spirit within, that warrior spirit, right? This is what my son has naturally. As do I. And I didn't really realize it until later on in life. It kind of developed over time. I think it was always there, but it was kind of, squashed down throughout my childhood and early adulthood. But once I really started to connect with myself and love myself and connect to this, higher power that I believe in, I started to really cultivate this love for me, love for humanity, love for life, this faith. I know life is hard. Trust me. Like I said, I have been to hell and back several times in my life. But this connection to the inner me, this connection to source, this connection to my spirit, right? This connection to the Most High, to the universe, to God, whatever it is. It developed this faith, and I use, certain tools and modalities to help me connect. And I do it on a daily basis, and it saved me, and it helps strengthen me. And that is when I am feeling, maybe anxious or feeling down or whatever it is, that's where I go to. I go within now, right? And I can't remember if I did a video on manifestation, but I will do that as well. That is on my list. As I promised, I am doing more videos for you guys. But, there's that saying, as within, so without. Whatever we have in our heart, in our spirit, that's what we're projecting out. Our beliefs, our faith, right? And, as above, so below. Right? So connecting to that, higher self, that higher power. When I am saying the universe has my back, I am always taken care of. When I say that, and I say it, and it's practice. You don't believe it right away. But this is something else that I teach, and I did do a video on, how to shift your beliefs. But one of the ways is with affirmations. And if we affirm and say something to ourselves over and over and over again every single day, guess what? Over time, you start to believe it. Okay? Good or bad. And this is how beliefs are developed in our early childhood, the first 6 to 10 years. So if you continue to believe, or continue to say something to yourself, like this, affirmation that I started saying, that the universe always has my back. I am always taken care of. God is always taking care of me, and the universe has my back. I say that to myself every single day. And, that developed over time. I started to really believe it. And now it's like the things that I have created in my life, the things that have happened, like I'm like, yes, the universe has my back. And yes, God is taking care of me always, right? I truly believe it. And guess what? It projects and mirrors, the mirror, right? Our world, our reality, it's projecting that to me because I believe it. As within, so without. As above, so below. Okay? So faith, trust in myself. Right? Having this faith in something bigger than me, cultivating that love relationship with myself and with, what I believe, my higher power, right? Could be your higher self, could be consciousness, whatever you believe in, connecting to that. It's kind of like plugging in, and I've talked about this before, but it's like plugging in your phone and like recharging your batteries. Okay, you guys? So it's connecting to, that's why we say, some people say source energy, right? It's connecting to source. The sun, right? We get energized by the sun. That is a source of energy. Okay. So that's why people talk about the light and, that sort of thing. Meditation, that is huge for me. That's how, one of the ways that I do prayer, right? Is meditating, visualizing, lots of different tools, that I use. If you guys want more information, you can always contact me. You can email me, and I'll go a little deeper and a little further with you if you want to work with me. But, I hope that this helps you guys at least. So I know it's not practical steps, but I am telling you, aside from my personality, right? I have learned that faith is the most important thing, because what happens is I have this trust and faith, and it keeps me looking forward all the time. I'm not looking backwards. I'm looking forward. I'm not looking at the past. I'm not focused on lack. I am looking forward. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, right? I'm still learning. I'm still growing. We all are. I mean, if you're not learning and growing, then you're dead, whether physically or emotionally or, within, right? Like, we should always be learning and growing until the day that we die. So I'm still learning and growing, and I'm still human, right? And so when things are really, really difficult, I mean, I have hit the floor crying, sobbing, begging God to help me. I don't do that as much. Now Maybe I break down and cry a little bit. Maybe I get down, but then I pick myself right back up and I'm like, no, no, God has my back. The universe is always taking care of me. No, I'm protected. I'm taken care of, right? Something bigger than me is taking care of this. And I stay focused on what's in front of me, focused on that vision of what I want. Loving myself, doing what I need, honoring myself, taking care of my needs, putting me first, doing the shadow work, cleaning out those cobwebs, healing the heart, healing those past wounds and pain, those things that are stopping me. And the other thing is, once you do this, once you've done that shadow work, once you've done the internal work, once and it's not like I've arrived, because we never truly arrive, right? But once, you're doing this and you're stepping into that place of faith and trust within yourself and love within yourself, it's like things just don't really faze me much anymore. I don't get disappointed easily. I don't freak out. I don't worry as much. Sure, I'm human and it still happens, but guess what? I'm focused. I have that faith. And the other thing that happens when you do this is it removes fear. So fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear comes from your ego. So once you do this shadow work and once you really practice and, a daily practice this cultivating of your faith and self-love, right? And connecting to this higher power and building that muscle of faith and trust, what happens is fear dissipates, because fear comes from the ego. And the ego is this part of you, that dark part of you, right? You know how we say the angel and the devil, on your shoulders, right? So fear is that devil energy, that lack mentality, negative old beliefs and things like that. Whereas, faith is the light, right? Faith is love and light. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's true. Faith is love and light. And so what happens is that once you're really connected to the divine, to source energy, having this trust and faith, guess what? Fear dissipates. And where there is love, okay, so there's another saying, where there is love, there is no fear. You cannot have both at the same time. So if you're living in fear, it's because you're not living in love. And what I mean by that is love for yourself, love, connected to, the Most High, connected to your spirit, to your higher self, right? To consciousness, to source energy, to God, to the universe. That is love, right? And so when we're connected to that, then guess what? There is no fear. And so some people are like, oh, you're fearless. It's not that I'm fearless. I mean, I'm human and I still have fears creep in, but I quickly resolve them. I quickly face those fears. That's the other technique, is to face your fear. Face it head on. I used to get scared. I would run away, but guess what? The fear, it's the ego. It will follow you wherever you go. So that's only torturing yourself. Face the fear. Face the fear head on, and guess what? Poof, it dissipates. All right? Face the fear. We can only do that when we've done the inner work, when we've gotten to the place of truly loving and trusting ourselves, when we've gotten to the place of really clearing out those fears, those cobwebs, right? And it's one at a time. It's kind of like peeling back the layers of an onion. I would start doing this work and I'm like, yes, I did it. And then something else comes up. And there's different things, that happen. Like some fears come up in relationships. Some fears come up because of money. Some fears, come up because of your work or your health. It's different for everybody. But to overcome adversity, number one, right? It's building those skills and abilities, right? Of determination and perseverance and tenacity, right? And that takes a lot of, kind of internal fire and passion, energy. A lot of it is mindset, mind over matter, right? And then secondly, or equally as important, number one, right, is your connection to, your faith, building and cultivating that faith within you, not hope, because hope can dissipate. Faith is strong. Faith is that internal strength. Second to that would be doing the shadow work, working on those fears, clearing out those fears and cobwebs. All right. And then fourth, working on that self-love. But that's also part of cultivating that faith, and connecting to your spirit and source and whatever that is for you. Okay, you guys? So that's what I have for you today. I hope that this was helpful. I could keep talking on this topic. I'll do another video because I don't want these to be too long. Comment down below. Let me know if this helped you, how it resonated for you. Also, guys, comment down below if there's any videos that you really want me to make or something that you want to talk about, because I would absolutely love to do that. And yeah, so don't forget, you guys, you have the power and the strength within you. Each and every one of you have this within. I just got chills on that. Each and every one of you have this within you. Just, you gotta have faith and belief in yourself and in something higher, bigger than yourself, whatever that is for you. All right, my loves, thanks so much for being here with me. Don't forget to do all the things, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified of new videos, and share this video with anybody that you think it might help. All right, and I will do another video on the different actual skills that you can do to build these internal muscles as well. I'll do another video on that. All right, and until next time, I wish you all peace, love, and light. Bye-bye.